We are back. We're back. Messi's back. Oh, such a beautiful day after I think like 102 or 105 days. Messi finally makes his return to an Inter Miami match in an Inter Miami kit, and he came back swinging, man. 2 goals, 1 assist. Um, he just so effortlessly shows why he is just the greatest player that we've ever seen. And he just came back and really didn't skip a beat. Inter Miami allow an early goal 2 minutes in, and it was just a very classic Inter Miami way of welcoming the great one back. And then, of course, Inter Miami came back for a record-breaking or record-tying 8th win after conceding the first goal, which ties the DC United in 2015 for a record in the MLS. And on top of that, Messi broke another record, becoming the fastest player in MLS League history to produce 15 goals and 15 assists, which he has done in 19 MLS matches. So just an insane reminder of how good Messi is. And with that beautiful introduction, welcome to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. My name's Julio. I'm joined today by Jose. Chris is on his way, and Dave's birthday is tomorrow, so he's out celebrating. So happy birthday to Dave. And we are super back. Huge shout out to our chief Heron Heads, Matias, Chow, and Madi V. Thank you for the generous support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you will find a link in the description wherever you guys are listening. Also, a link to the merch store. You can get some Heron Heads gear and our Discord server, which was popping off today, as you can imagine. All that stuff is linked in the description. So if you guys are interested in those things, please be sure to check it out. And yeah, man, Inter Miami win again. The incredible run of form continues. I just tweeted just a couple minutes ago at the Heron Heads on X. Worst case scenario, if LA Galaxy win tonight in El Tráfico against LAFC, Inter Miami will be 7 points clear in the Supporter Shield race with a game in hand over LA Galaxy with 6 matches remaining.
Wow.
So, yeah, it is. We are just every minute that passes in matches, we are that much closer to winning the Supporter Shield, which, given the amount of time that certain players have missed throughout this season, is really a testament to how good this team has been, the depth that this team has shown, and to an extent, Tata's ability to navigate these absences and the changes that have been brought onto him. So there's a lot to talk about in this match. We can dive into that. The first half was rough start, then became awesome. And the second half I thought was really rough. And we can dive into why I think that. But
well, I mean, just going off of right now what we're looking at, right? As far as like how our game totally changed, right? Because that's what it is, Julio. Like honestly, like the way we're playing against Philly, it's not the way we've been playing, right? I feel like it wasn't so much Messi dependencia. I didn't feel that. I felt like they did have a way better flow from before when we were kind of counting on him. But man, it was good because he sprinkled his talent instead of we weren't like trying to force it. I felt like towards the end we were trying to force it because I think we really literally wanted a hat trick, which I mean, fine, right at that point. But that goal that they disallowed, it was a shame because man, Suarez bent that so nicely. But ever since that one, what that was called the offsides on Messi, when that happened, I felt like we kind of lost a little bit of from that point. I would say that we kind of lost a step, right? Like I felt like we were kind of like dragging our heels, and then we turned it up at the end. But yeah, I mean, I had my butt clenched the whole second half, and I felt like it shouldn't have been that way, I feel like we were dominating, but it wasn't. It was like dominating without I don't know how to put it.
Yeah, just really quickly before I answer that point, to clarify, Messi has 15 goals in his first 19 matches in the MLS. So he has 14 this season and 1 from the previous season. That gives him 15 across 19 matches, which makes him the fastest to reach 15 goals, 15 assists in MLS play, but it spans across his first 19 matches, which takes us back to last season. But yeah, so the first half, I think it
was dominant.
We dominated. And were it not for Messi's heel being offside for the third goal, which they essentially recreated, we totally controlled that. The second half, at about like the 60th, 65th minute, I was thinking to myself, this game needs Yannick Bright.
Yeah, 100%. Well, okay, good. I'm happy you brought that up. Talking more so about how the club fared without Yannick Bright in the lineup. We lost the duels today, right? We 47% with Yannick. I feel like that's always up to now we've always won all the duels, right? And that was not the case today. The possession all of a sudden increased, right? Which it's like it depends how you look at it, right? Because up to this point, we haven't been trying to be a possession team. Now today we're 62% possession, which that's not the way we've been playing this at all. So yeah, I would say Bright not being in the lineup definitely messed with our juju a little bit. When you think that we're like dominating, what do you are right now our XG? We XG'd them at 1.84 for Philly XG versus Inter had 1.13. So like we had minimal big chances, right? It's not like we were dominating because we had the ball on their side of the pitch, but I feel like we were more selective with the shots that we were taking, which I don't know if that was the case prior. I feel like we were more firing and just seeing what happens.
Yeah, well, I think the first half, when you look at it isolated, I think in that sense we dominated because in the first half we had an XG of 0.87 to 0.56. We had 67% of the possession, and we had the ball so much in their half and in such dangerous positions where even though we only took 6 shots in the first half, they felt a little bit more dangerous. They felt, inherently they feel more dangerous, right? Because it's like Messi shooting or Suarez is shooting. The second half, I think we mismanaged it a lot. I think we sat back a little bit too much. I think the substitutes came in a little too late. I think they were like 10 minutes too late, in my opinion. You can tell that Gressel was starting to get a little bit slow. Gomez was definitely having trouble sort of keeping up his pace of play. And you saw like he went down, he was grabbing at his hamstring and sort of just uncomfortable, which hopefully is not too serious of an issue. Hopefully he caught it early and thought that made the change immediately at that point. But it felt like we were just allowing way too much pressure and we couldn't diffuse the pressure in any way that was that gave us time to breathe really. And Drake Callender had to make 2 incredible saves. And I'm not going to harp too much on Drake Callender because the first goal shouldn't have gone in. It shouldn't have gone in. The goal that he allowed was, I think, a stronger hand parries that ball wide. And it almost like, and this is not going to do well for audio medium, but it like pushed his fingers back and the ball just sort of got into the corner of the net. I thought he did very poorly on that goal, but he made 2 saves that, 9 out of 10 times that ball goes anywhere else and is in the back of the net. So he saved a egregious Toto error late in the match. And the other one, I can't remember how it was that he either came out of the net too early or I don't remember, but he was way out of position, ended up having to cover the ball out of the box, just spread himself wide, but the ball hit him right in the chest. And it was like Miami got away with it, but we got away with it. And
multiple times. It wasn't just that. It was a lot of like, he had a good rating, by the way. Drake,
I think he had a good game.
So he had a good game.
I know you don't love.
It didn't feel like it though, right?
Yeah.
Like, for me, I felt like I was like, man, I feel like these are a lot of like self-inflicted.
Yes. Not by Drake necessarily. I think Drake had a good game overall, but I know I wanted to temper myself because I know it's just us two and I know you don't love Drake, but I totally think the first goal was his fault, and I don't want to shy away from that. But I think he also made 2 incredible saves, and I think overall he commanded the box very well. And I think he needed to do that, especially late in the game when Philadelphia brought on a lot of size, a lot of physicality, and he did a very good job of just making sure that everyone felt his presence, which I think can be very important for a goalkeeper, especially when teams are just throwing balls into the box and hoping, mucking it up, as we like to say. So I think he had a very good game overall, and I'm not surprised that his ratings reflect that.
Yeah, he had an 8.2 rating. He did well, man. I mean, it's just yeah. Do we wish that he had that we had a better goalie back there? Yeah, I do. But he had a good game. Ultimately, like we played a great game today, all around. There's nothing to be upset about. I would say that it was a little too close at the end for comfort. The Boosie turnover, or was it Toto? It was Boosie right at the end.
Busquets gave one away, and he sort of like not dragged back, but he tried to like fake out, and the ball got away from him, and he just gave it to the defender.
I don't know,
attacker.
I don't know how that wasn't a goal there.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why Drake stepped up, right? Because it's like, all right, like,
and that's what I'm saying. Like that ball, 9 out of 10 times goes in the back of the net because the ball goes literally anywhere else, and it just he took up as good a position as he could have, and he gave himself the best chance, even if it was a 1% chance of stopping the shot, and he stopped the shot. And like, that's it. And like, if you're Philadelphia, you got to just throw your hands up and be like, well, yeah, that's just luck. Like, that's a lottery.
It was that one. It was also the one that he was going back and forth inside the box. I was like, first of all, Philly just kept on hitting him right in the chest. It was like, Jesus, man, poor guy. He's just getting pelted, and yeah, we just weren't helping him. The defense was not there. You know who was there?
Noah Allen.
Your boy Noah Allen was there,
bro. Let me tell you, best game he's ever played. Best game he's ever played in Inter Miami kit.
I mean, I'm thinking about taking my kids to the park. He has
the play with the pro.
Yeah, man. What the hell? Why not,
dude? That I was genuinely impressed, and I hope that he's okay because he took a very bad fall at the end of the match where he landed sort of on his neck. He like got up and played for 30 seconds and then just called for a sub and was like, I'm done. He had a hell of a match coming in for David Martinez, who went down early. Another
constantly. I don't understand how he's constantly hurt. I understand. And the one that he got
not just he. The center backs, like as a group, as a collective, man. It's awful. So David Martinez went down with what appeared to be a soft tissue injury. Alex Windley, who reports Inter Miami, does a great job. Find her on X. She took a video and posted a video on X of David Martinez walking around. Didn't seem to be laboring at all. You don't want to speculate too much, but he seemed okay, which is promising. Inter Miami have 6 matches in the next 21 days. So there's a lot of schedule congestion. I think there's a midweek fixture every week pretty much. So his availability, even if it's not Wednesday, but next weekend, will be really important for this team. We have Busquets and Aviles who are going to be out on yellow card accumulation midweek. If Redondo picks up another yellow card, he's going to be out for accumulation. So there's going to be a lot of like maneuvering and tinkering that was going to have to do with this team. But Noah Allen put in a hell of a shift, man. I got to give him his credit because he earned it tonight. When he made that one play that sticks out in my mind where he held off, what is the name of the Adeniran? He held off Adeniran, who 2 Noah Allens can fit inside this man.
Yeah.
And he not only kept pace with him, which I thought was really cool to see because I don't think of Noah Allen as like a particularly speedy person, but he kept pace with him and held him off and earned the foul that got us the ball back in what otherwise could have been an extremely dangerous attack. I thought Noah Allen had a great match, man. I really got to give him credit because normally we pick on him a lot, but he had a really nice match.
He had a 7.5 rating, so SofaScore agrees with you. But yeah, man, it's him, but it's a few guys. Man of the match. I'm not gonna say man because I feel like too many good performances. Man of the match, 9.1 for Messi. obviously 2 goals, 1 assist.
Messi, not
Yeah.
Kremaski.
No.
You said Kremaski.
Oh, I meant Messi. Yeah, definitely. He did not. No, he did not.
Freudian slip, man. I like it.
Messi 9.1 rating. Drake 8.2. Luis Suarez 8.1. I mean,
yeah. Let me also jump in on Luis Suarez here. He was all over the pitch tonight. I thought I saw him in a lot of moments, coming back, defending, going onto the flanks, and trying to win the ball back. I thought he made his presence felt a lot more than I usually see since he's been on Inter Miami. And I think when both he and Messi are on the pitch at the same time, that is so important for us, because with Messi, he's not going to come back and defend often, because I mean, he's just too busy being a black hole of attention, and B, he's just getting ready for the next attack. I mean, he's not a defender. We're not relying on him for defense, but it hurts you and it affects the team when you have 2 players that only are just staying up. So it was really nice to see Suarez come back more often than not, and I don't think it affected his going forward too much, which is the other side of that.
I agree, and you know what? What's beautiful right now about. But by the way, just to confirm, yes, you read that. Yeah, absolutely. I did say. I thought I said Messi. Thank you, Madison.
Guys, I have Kremaski all around me.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, why would I say that?
I was just like daydreaming over here of the law.
But yeah, I mean, Suarez was nice, man. It was nice to see him just all over the pitch. It could be the 2 weeks rest. I mean, we haven't really played that much in the last 3 weeks, right? It's I mean, yeah, I kind of expect it. Yeah, he's. I'm trying to get him to get the golden boot. You know what I mean? I'm happy. Where is he in the standing? I'm sure you didn't.
No, but I do have the MLS website open, so I can look it up really quick. He did score tonight. Finally, Benteke is at 19. Suarez is now tied with Chicho Arango, who is currently in a match. Those 2 are tied at 17, but Benteke is at 19. He must have scored a couple tonight.
And Suarez is where?
He's at 17.
Okay, all right. So who cares about the other guys? So we got 2 goals that we got to make up. And yeah, and did you see how they were playing together, man? I love Suarez and Messi up there. It's just so fun.
It's just incredible.
Just Alba when he was on the left flank, when he just threw that ball in there in the middle of just so much traffic, and out of nowhere Messi just comes in, but that's routine for them, man. I mean, we've seen this how many times in Inter Miami, just Inter Miami, right? This isn't even Barca. That's their like trademark thing. You see Alba run pretty far up into the pitch. You're like, okay, where is he going with this? Boom! Out of nowhere, beautiful ground pass to Messi, top of the circle. Boom! Just in. It's just it's constant.
You know what's funny is I feel like when those players like play with themselves, like when they're playing amongst themselves, they seem if the final pass is missed or misplaced, they seem to be like, oh, good job. Like that's sort of the idea. If it's anyone else, they're like, "Oye, ¿qué haces, man? What are you doing?" Like they get all like upset and frazzled. It's funny to see because like obviously these guys have history going back 20 plus years back to La Masia, and then you have like Redondo putting a pass like way over the top, and Suarez is like, I was never going there.
He wasn't even. They rarely even get mad at the other guys, but they get mad at each other because you're like, yo, you knew better. Like the one that there was one that Alba Messi had Alba on the left, just to the left of the goal, and it was a spectacular save by the defender. He got in the way of the pass, and you saw Messi he was just.
I know exactly.
So angry at himself, and then Alba was like, I don't understand, because it would have been an easy goal. It just would have been an easy goal, and man, it's just funny to watch because it becomes more like you know what I'm noticing with these guys. It's an expectation. It's not so much of like, well, let's see if Gressel plays the ball correctly this time. No, it's not about that. It's you know where I'm going to go, put it there, and that just makes it way easier for us, man. Now, did I like our style prior to Messi? Yeah, it was fun because it was a lot of just playing hard. Honestly, just a lot of playing hard, a lot of teamwork. Very fun stuff you teach your kids. You know what I mean? But like today was just it's
was
second
also
nature.
very
It's
different.
second.
No, quite a few people in the chat are talking about Gressel and
I
his
want
play.
to get into that, guys. I definitely want to get into
I
that.
think right, like that we talked about this in the build up to Messi coming back. You know, who was going to drop out when Messi came back because he takes up a position, right? So we didn't see Rojas, who was also not on the bench, if I'm not mistaken, and Bright was the one that dropped out of this match. So I think Gressel didn't add much to today's match at all.
He was
and I think he was like 10, maybe 15 minutes too late in being subbed off.
I like we said earlier, I have a bad feeling about like I think we understand like we need Bright just to make all of this work, where you can bring the old style that we had without Messi and the new and try to connect them a little bit better. I don't know if Gressel is the glue in that. You know what I mean? I feel like Gressel is not. It's not that he's not like a hardworking guy in the middle of the in the midfield, but I think Bright brings so much more that we're not getting otherwise.
Yeah, that's I think the important part is Bright is almost singular in this team in his ability to man mark and get the ball back. He did it again in the very brief amount of time that he played today. Just straight up stripped the ball away from a player. And I think he is so unique in his ability to do that consistently, where then, okay, you have Bright, but then you literally just have playmakers around him. Whereas if we're saying Gressel's best attribute is passing, we need someone in midfield who's going to be sort of the bulldog that just fights everyone, that takes the ball away, that wins the ball back. Because even Busquets, to an extent, while he's very good at being positionally sound, he's different than Bright, especially at this stage in his career. And Bright is just a defensive engine, really, that he can go win the ball and then pass it to Busquets, and Busquets can quarterback it over the top for a great pass to Messi and then Suarez, and then it's a goal.
Like a CDM kind of.
Yeah, and just someone, not just a CDM, but someone that brings energy in a defensive capacity, right? Like Gressel didn't provide anything of immense value offensively, right? If he's not doing that, what is the point? Whereas Bright comes on to help see out the match, immediately wins multiple tackles, has a block, if I'm not mistaken.
He puts his mark on the game. You know what I'm saying?
It's absolutely.
You
absolutely.
don't miss Bright.
And it's never in doubt. Like, it's never in doubt. Like, Bright plays, you're like, wow, Yannick Bright is playing.
Yeah. You know he's there.
I couldn't tell you a play that Gressel made tonight, to be honest.
There's a time when I felt like he was trying to get involved in the whole Suarez, Messi, Alba, but they were just making love playing soccer together today. It wasn't about Gressel. They're like, get out, just get out. And they just kept doing their thing, and they just left him out, and he just like was sad and went to the corner. That's what I thought happened today.
That's sort of my point, though, is that you need Bright to get the ball and pass it to one of them so they can go play football.
Yeah,
right?
Go play tiki taka. I'm gonna be back here. I'm gonna get the ball for you again.
They can go play in the backyard, which is basically just in the net of the opposition, and that's it. Like Gressel, when you think about it, right, going back to like the very beginning of the season, he doesn't really know what to do when all the players are playing, when the Barca boys are all playing. Remember, he had that big stretch where he wasn't providing any goal contributions, and then they left for Copa America, and Gressel turned it on.
He played well with Suarez. He was when he was the right wing, and he would start. But other than that, you know where I thought he did okay. I'm gonna tell you, when we didn't have a proper right back, he had spot plays as a right wing back. It was not that bad, right? Like this next game, for example, that we're gonna be without. We're gonna literally be missing Busi, Toto, Martinez. Okay, that's terrible. So we're gonna probably be playing no Allen. Maybe we're gonna put in
Maybe.
maybe Frey at center back. Maybe Boosie. No, he's out.
Allen got injured today, so who knows? It looked like a weird neck concussion thing going on there. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so with that, I mean, yeah, who knows? But maybe there's a spot for Gressel there. You know what I'm saying? Where he could play right back. You know, and Chelo's played center back for us before. He was not terrible.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see how bad Noah Allen's injury is. Definitely a hard fall. Hopefully he can play. He had put in a shift and a half, as we mentioned. So maybe it was maybe a combination of the fall itself and also some fatigue, because he was running today. David Martinez seemed to be walking pretty well after the match as well. And if not, the back line is going to be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
We might get some Sailor, baby.
Frey and Sailor.
Literally.
Kristoff, baby. Woo!
Oh,
the best defense will be our offense.
Let's pour it on, baby. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough watch, but you know what wasn't rough today? Just Messi, you know what I mean?
It's so fun. It's so fun, isn't it?
It's so fun to watch him play. I don't know what you guys have spoken about, but that was awesome, man. To see him score twice, just like that. Like if he hasn't even missed 3 months, you know, like whatever. It is what it is. Well, it was awesome, man. It was really fun to see. I didn't like the way the rest of the team played. I don't know if you guys spoken about this already, but I didn't like the way the rest of the team played, to be honest. I felt like it was very meh. It was back to Messi ball. But the team play, the last few matches were much nicer, but today was just anytime Messi has the ball at his feet, it's just so dangerous and so fun to watch, and we're in for a treat for the rest of the season. He's back, baby.
I you know, it's funny. We did touch that a little bit, Chris. I didn't feel like it was super Messi dependency like we've been accustomed to. Some people wrote that in the chat though, that I think Shoes particularly said that we revolved back to that. I felt like it could have been worse, you know, where we've literally given him the ball and just watch him, and it's like, okay, like nobody's gonna try to do something. Whereas today I felt like we were trying to feed off him more and not use him as a focal point and have him sprinkle in some time. More so than before. Like, yeah, obviously he's Messi, right? He's gonna get the ball. But
my only I guess counter to that is, what did we see from the rest of the team? If it wasn't for Messi's 2 beautiful goals, we would have been in a very bad predicament. I didn't see anything that the rest of the team did that tells me, I think we would have been okay if it wasn't for those 2 goals. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying that we're kind of played that Messi ball again, that Messi independencia, or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, I don't want to poop on the parade here. It's a beautiful game.
I saw one play specifically that felt like we were forcing Messi the ball. Actually,
we're trying to get the hat trick at the end.
I actually think it was Gressel who felt like he could have taken a shot, but ended up passing it back across to Messi, who was towards the top of the box. I agree with you, Jose. I don't think we relied or focused so heavily on forcing the ball to him. I think he just came back in so seamlessly and just picked up the perfect positions as expected. And the team seemed to play well around him without forcing him the ball. And I think, again, it goes back to some of the things that we were saying in the past, where this team now has some confidence in itself to know we're good enough to hang. And I think that benefits the play as a whole, because while
for sure,
while Messi obviously created all the goals tonight, I do think that's sort of the MO when he's in the lineup. Like it simply is just the passing, the ripple effect. Like that's what happens.
Julio, the passing in the beginning of the game, it was not what we've been seeing up to. Like, yes,
not at all. The level,
you know what I'm saying, right? Like,
the
in the
level
beginning
is
of the
like
game,
so much higher. It is the angles that he picks out and that become available. Really, the timing. It's crazy.
I've forgotten already, right? Like how like these passes that he was just getting in, I was like, Why? Just why do you think that would work? And it works every time. It's just like it's constant. And then you start seeing other guys do it, and then you start seeing Alba just getting these threading the needle. That goal that goal that he scored that from the left side, I was impressed with that Alba pass also, right? Like it was just like
I thought he played very well, Alba. I thought he had a good game.
But okay, so to answer your question, who showed something? I think Alba had an amazing game. I think that Luis Suarez, we would have won this game if Messi wasn't here. If we were doing just the way that we were locked in, I felt like the whole team was kind of locked in. And yeah, it's weird. We're bringing in Messi, and we're obviously going to put him into the match and trying to see how we're going to do what we did before and apply it now with the greatest player ever. And that does, like, I'm glad they brought him in for this game, because I don't think Philly has anything. They do not belong on the same field as us. It's not. We're so much better. It's not even funny. And it was apparent, because even when we're like, all right, whatever, we're gonna take the foot off the pedal a little bit. We can just turn it on, and it's like it's beautiful. It's just it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's on the other side.
I think it's very similar to Messi's style these days, right? Like we as Inter Miami, we can be walking, and all of a sudden a chance comes and we're sprinting, and it's like the most incredible thing you've ever seen. It's very much like Messi's almost like a embodiment of the team as a whole and how dangerous we can be. I think the defense didn't play particularly well. I thought there were a lot of times where it was one misplaced pass from either wingback or from either flank, and all of a sudden they were completely exposed in the back line, and it was the two center backs sprinting back rather than a wing back being able to chase back. And that's something that higher end teams can capitalize on. A number of times, I think more so on Chelo's side, but the ball was given away, and you look, and it was Noah Allen and Toto running back, and Jordi Alba, of course, as part of the attack, is way up the pitch, so he's not at fault, but he's also not in position to help make a play, and that stretched us a lot, and that's something that we need to be obviously very wary of. I don't know. I think Chelo needs to work a little bit on his aggressiveness and picking his spots a little bit better. If we have him, Gressel, and Messi on the right side, I think that is a very slow in defending group, and I think we need to be very careful with that. I think Bright changes that math a little bit, and also maybe like a Matias Rojas changes it, not so much defensively, obviously, but he can track back a little bit faster than the other two. I just think we need to be very careful, because that was, to me, like the only negative was the defense got very stretched. I thought the game plan, like the tactics of the last 30 minutes, were a little bit too conservative, but yeah, I mean, we won, and Messi came back and scored 2, had an assist, didn't get hurt, was only fouled once, where he went down. He was fouled a number of times around the box, but I mean, as good as you could have hoped.
And I think part of the defensive woes is I didn't like the way the midfield played today. I feel like there wasn't that pressure in the midfield that we've been seeing. And again, it all goes back to what you guys were already talking about when I got here, was that Bright wasn't out there. Bright came in later, and you know what he brings. You know, he brings that pressure. He brings that size, that grittiness to the midfield. And I don't think they had that. And I think that really that's been the key for our defense, for our backline to really kind of hold together. The midfield wasn't there today, and it was letting a lot of things just go through and kind of leaving our backline out to dry. At the end of the day, it's a defensive line job to stop all of this, right? But I think if you have that pressure in the midfield and someone that's on top of the attacker all the time and just being annoying like Bright is, it helps that tremendously, especially with the caliber of players that we sometimes see back there in the backline. So I think Bright, again, is the key. I think Tata needs to make that decision ASAP and put Gressel, as much as he loves Gressel needs to take a back seat to Bright. Bright needs to be in that midfield. And I think that right there is going to be the key to going far into the playoffs, because once we get into the playoffs, it's a whole other level. I mean, these guys, it's the teams just take you to the next level, and if you don't have that defensive grittiness with someone like Bright out there, I think that's where you run into trouble. But yeah, overall, great win. You know, I'm happy about it, but I didn't like that. I didn't like the midfield.
Yeah, I think at the level that it jumps to in the playoffs, like it's gonna bite you in the butt if you're conceding the first goal. Like you're just simply gonna run out of the ability to come back because they're better teams.
Better teams.
So yeah, they need to shore up the defensive scheme as a whole, which combines both the midfield and the backline tactics, which I thought were a little bit lacking today. Toto needs to be better, as we've mentioned a number of times across the course of the last 2 months. It's just his decision making is lacking so often, it seems, and hopefully David Martinez is able to bounce back from the injury that he took today. It seemed like a soft tissue. The knock that he took was very innocuous to me. No pun intended. But yeah, there needs to be some sort of change. Maybe I do wonder if a 3/5 at the back makes sense for this sort of collective, to put Busquets in the back line and sort of captain it.
I feel like that's what we're missing in the back line. And it's been working so well, and then they went away from it, which is so weird. You know, just what we did in the last match. I don't understand why tinker now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Messi's insertion,
Messi's back. Yeah,
I think has a big factor. But so to that point, like I almost wonder if you become too defensive if you go 5 at the back, and then there's Messi. You are putting Busquets in the back line in this hypothetical, which means you're presumably putting Bright in midfield, another defensive-minded person. So it's like it's almost you become too defense-oriented. And while Messi can still do good, obviously, or great, you know, whatever you want to phrase it,
you're not using him to.
It's just like
you're not using
they can focus wholeheartedly on him, whereas right now they have to focus on him because he's Messi, and like 2 or 3 guys have to focus on him. They can be like, all right, 5 guys can focus on him because there's him and Suarez, and that's pretty much it as far as the offensive threat.
But
I mean, Gomez, I thought he had a decent game, but he got hurt, I think, right?
He got hurt. I don't know. I hope he's good.
Yeah. It looked like soft tissue again. It looked like he was grabbing the back of his leg. Yeah.
I'm going to hope it was a cramp is what I'm hoping for.
I don't think so.
It was humid out there, bro.
It was, but it didn't look like cramp. I don't know.
It looked like hamstrings.
But Gomez provides a lot on the attack as well. You know,
for sure. I'm just saying, like, if we're talking like a 3 at the back, 5 at the back, right? There's so fewer positions where you can be like, okay, we're locking up 2 positions now, right? We're saying Busquets and Bright. You're adding.
Just, you know, everybody disagrees with you in the comments. So you know,
what are they disagreeing with me on?
They disagree. Everybody disagrees.
Oh, okay.
Which I agree. I agree with the comments. I'm a man of the people.
There you go.
I'm gonna.
So my point is,
guys,
okay. Thank you for that aside. That was completely unnecessary, just to derail me as you usually do. My point is that then it becomes okay. You only add like Redondo and or Gomez, and then it's Suarez and Messi, right? So instead of having 5 to 6 offensive-minded players, lumping in like Jordi Alba, now you're down to like 3 or 4. I think that makes a big difference in what we're able to do and the attention that can be isolated to specific players like Messi and Suarez, and obviously like the high danger players. Martinez, Busi, Freya. Yeah, I would love to see it. I would love to see it, and I think these remaining 6 matches, Tata needs to figure it out now, obviously, before we head into the playoffs. But I would
begrudgingly has to start Frey this next match.
Yes, he does. Yeah, well, hopefully you would hope so, right? Like
I don't get
all of a sudden Gressel's gonna be back there with
Sailor. I don't get it.
He hates him. I don't understand.
It's a big deal. He does so well every time.
But yeah, I mean, I think what they're saying, I think what most of the comments, basically all of them, what they're saying that they totally disagree with you and they totally agree with me, is that they're saying, listen, if we were to just take Gressel out of the last lineup, which we've been doing well with the lineup. Yeah, I agree. Like our firepower is less, that I'll concede that it would be less because we're just bringing more in the back, right? But we weren't doing bad because Alba was not really a left back. Let's be honest, he was not a left back. He was basically up in the just constantly pitching the ball in, looking for a goal. We had Suarez up there. What would have changed? The only thing that would have changed really is instead of Gressel, we're putting in Bright. I said Gressel, like I combined Bright and Gressel. Instead of Gressel, we would have Bright, which we all like that, correct? And then you're just putting Messi in the right wing. You know what I'm saying? So they could probably get on him, but then you're gonna have Alba on the left side to deal with. You're gonna still have. I mean, Bright is not totally inept for. Maybe he starts getting some goals. You never know. We have Gomez. Assuming he's not hurt. So I don't think we'd have like a terrible attack in that 5-back rotation.
I don't think we have a bad attack in any of these cases. I just think we need to just figure out how to maximize the squad that we have, right? Like our depth is so thin in defense that I don't know, like
I see.
I don't know rotationally if it makes sense to go to a back 5, or to say, hey, we're gonna set up in a 4-3-3, and then we can make some substitutions to adjust into a sort of back 5. I'm interested to see what happens over these next 6 matches, because I think it will be very telling of what the idea is for when everyone is available, for like the A team of what we're going to see specifically in the playoffs, because really at this point, these are almost like free matches. We want to win the Supporter Shield, obviously, but we already clinched playoffs.
I want the record.
Oh, I want the record, and I want the Shield.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What's the record? I don't remember.
The wins, the point total.
Yeah, the points. But what do you know? How many points is that? Do you guys know? I don't remember.
No, we talked about it.
Was it 74?
That sounds right. That sounds right.
We need to win most of our games left.
I've had this comment pinned here. Who will be the back line in the midweek fixture? Because, by the way, we play midweek at Atlanta on turf, which brings questions without any injuries or suspensions. It brings questions into, is Suarez and Messi playing?
I think Messi will. I don't think Suarez will.
So what's the back line? Let's start there.
Maybe it depends if Noah Allen's hurt or not.
Yeah, that's the biggest question mark right now.
Tata loves him some Noah Allen. So let's assume he's okay, because that guy's a cockroach. He's gonna come out of nowhere. He's gonna be fine. We're gonna put in Noah Allen back there. We're gonna put in Frey. We'll put in Frey, and I think we're gonna have a four back line. There's no choice really. We'll have Cello, and then we'll have Alba. That's it. Because Bussi's not even available to us anyway, so there's literally no point in doing a 5.
I'm in between that or Noah and Christoph, because we know that he loves Christoph as well, and that would be very ugly if we see that. But like you said, now's the time to do it, I guess.
I'll tell you,
I don't know, man.
He's forced to do something weird.
He's forced to do something crazy right now, and to be fair, Noah Allen didn't. Noah Allen, whatever happened to him, it didn't look very good. He had to call himself out of the game. He was kind of wobbly, so I don't know, man. That's scary. If it's not Noah Allen and Frey or Christoph, then it'll be like a Christoph and Frey or something like that, which is god awful.
So David is in the chat, having not watched the match, I don't think, and also not having watched the show until the last 5 minutes. So Toto and Busquets, this is specifically for Dave. There are,
everybody else is content.
Everybody else, put mute. This is just for David. Toto picked up a yellow card as per.
Shocker.
Is suspended for a yellow card accumulation. Busquets got a yellow card and is suspended due to yellow card accumulation. David Martinez got a soft tissue injury very early in this match. Noah Allen was substituted on as an injury substitute. Noah Allen in like the 80-something minute was flipped over Drake Callender after like a bad giveaway that Callender saved, and landed like here on his neck and landed very awkwardly. Got up, played for like 15, 20 seconds and then was like, nope, sub me off, and then just laid on the ground and was substituted off after that. So quite a few developments for Wednesday's match. Okay, everyone else, you're able to unmute and we can continue.
Right. So with all that being said, I mean, we have Christoph that we could choose from. We have Ryan Saylor. Not ideal.
Ian Frey.
We could put Ian Frey in, and that would be nice. The others, I'm gonna tell you right now, Julio. Let me ask you a question. You straight up, best defense is good offense.
A crazy offense.
Yeah.
So just go all out.
That's what it's gonna have to be.
Just go all out and just say screw this. We don't need defense. Ian Frey, Chelo, Alba, speed backs. Let's go.
To be fair, Atlanta's not great either, so I think we'll be fine.
Chris, just put 7 goals on them, and they won't know what to do with that.
That's what I'm saying. Atlanta just got beat today by I think they lost to Nashville today. Nashville's in shambles. Like, come on.
Put him Bright in as a CDM, and bro, they won't even know what to do with this guy. He's gonna be a little bulldog back there, just constantly taking everybody's cookies. Yeah, that's it. Just put Bright back there. What are we talking about? We put Bright with just those 3 guys, we'll be totally fine. But just put everybody else like wild animals, just trying to get some goals. That's it.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It'll be like a quick developing story. We might see, the team sign someone up from the youth squad even just to fill out the roster for this midweek.
Boatwright.
Yeah, Boatwright is a name that immediately jumped to my mind. It's gonna be very interesting to see who's in the back line. Sailor has to make an appearance here, in my opinion.
Scary, man.
It would be a Sailor and a Boatwright walk into Atlanta.
Neggy. I mean, Neggy's always a fun option too. He's solid, man.
Never thought we'd hear that this season.
Oh my goodness, this late in the season, mind you. No, man.
That backline's cursed. Jeez, like. What's going on back there?
The problem with playing Messi's bodyguard at center back is that he might get hurt too, and we don't need him to get hurt.
Not a bad suggestion, though.
Who will be watching Messi from the sidelines the whole match?
Yeah.
I mean, judging by him, he'd probably do that as well.
Perfect. So, do you guys have Messi and Suarez both playing in Atlanta?
No way. I don't think Suarez plays.
I don't
think Messi plays.
Side note, I put that Toto out thinking it was Tata out just because it's just funny. I love putting Tata out up, and it was actually Toto. I was like, oh, that's fine.
Also makes sense.
That works.
So I don't think Messi plays, to be honest. I don't think it's worth it.
It's not,
quite frankly.
But if I had to choose which one for sure, I would say Suarez for sure, just because of his knees. His knees are shot. I don't think he takes that risk.
We don't have anybody, so they need to play.
Like, Campana will play and not score anything.
Please, oh my God.
We
just said go all out on offense. And you say Campana. That's not going to work, Chris.
No, but here, let's talk about this, right?
Little bit match preview.
The most important thing right now, match preview, bro. Wednesday matches, we don't do match previews. Yeah. Let's look at ourselves in the mirror right now. Realistically, the most important thing right now is the playoffs. Winning the Supporter Shield is like 1B. But this match specifically in a vacuum, right? Atlanta, turf pitch. It is not worth jeopardizing the other 5 matches of this regular season for the Supporter Shield and for the point record, which is like a secondary ripple effect, sort of. It is not worth jeopardizing that and jeopardizing the playoffs beyond those matches by having Messi and Suarez play in this game on a pitch that might make them more prone to getting injured. In my opinion, it's not worth it. So can we sacrifice one match where we rotate in players that aren't as effective, Campana, right? Where maybe we can rotate Gressel back out to the right wing, put Bright in to the midfield, totally tinker with the backline just based on availability, and sort of roll out with that.
We may still win with that.
As I said that, by the way, kind of questioning having Frey play. I don't think we have a choice. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but given Frey's knee injury history, that's kind of a concern to me.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I don't think it's worth playing Messi or Suarez in the Atlanta match on turf, given the time of year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's a good point about Frey. That's scary too, man. But geez, now it's one less person that we have to tinker with back there in the back line.
Yeah, I
What are
think
we gonna do? Like,
I think that will be forced to play him, whether it's at center back or center back, center back A or center back B. I don't think he's gonna have a choice really.
Is Almada playing right now?
Thiago Almada.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I was looking at just real quickly at the last few matches of theirs. He hasn't really been playing, so that's the one guy that
didn't he get bought out or transferred to
he
Brazil?
did. Okay, yeah, he did.
We don't even have to worry about him.
No, he plays at Botafogo.
Yeah.
So perfect. I mean, literally, like that's the only guy that I was thinking about immediately. I was like, oh my god, this guy can be a thorn in my butt.
Atlanta's not good. They're not good.
Right now. So they've been in the last 5 games. They're 1-4. So that was the research.
Nice. That was the match preview brought to you by. Yeah, the tinkering for Wednesday is going to be strong. Let me tell you, the tinkering is going to be strong.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one by Shoes.
Any rumors on
any rumors?
Yeah, the rumor is he might play at center back on Wednesday.
Left wing. Didn't he play at left wing one time?
He played right back one time.
That was the worst. I was like, I don't know what to say right now. I was like, this guy is just like, what a team player. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, I will probably see Robert Taylor. We'll see Rojas out there. If assuming we're benching Messi and Suarez.
Robert Taylor played 2 weeks ago, by the way, in our last match against Chicago. He got subbed on in the 90th minute.
Yeah. Is he in a doghouse? Jeez.
Just disrespectful. They I've had enough. I'm not even gonna let you finish this game. This is enough. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Man of the people over here.
You see? But yeah, man. What's the rumors on Taylor here? I'm gonna give you one. They're looking to get him out. No, nothing.
Per what? Who's your
Jose.
source?
Per Jose. That's totally per Jose.
Hopefully. Wow, great question, David. That's the kind of stuff I'm here for.
Hard hitting.
This is a good one. Jose, what was worse, Robert Taylor right back or yelling at Houston? Yelling at Houston is the worst performance I've ever seen on a soccer pitch. I've never seen someone get so burnt. It's like man, that was rough. It was a final. That was a final, folks. That's not even comparable.
It's burned into Jose's mind forever.
Tony's right here. Tony's right, unfortunately.
Yeah. And this is again another thing for Wednesday. If Gomez is remotely knocked up,
you don't play him.
You don't play him.
Mm-mm.
You don't play him. So then Taylor becomes a logical rotational piece.
That's honestly how we're gonna look at the rest of the season, right? We're gonna be looking at if we get, we're not playing for the record. We're not. I personally do because I think it's funny.
You're not playing for it. If it happens, great. You want to win the Supporter Shield for obvious reasons,
right?
But the most important thing is going to be the playoffs.
I'm gonna give you a makeshift lineup right now. So go for the game for Wednesday.
Okay. Did you count?
Remember,
did you count
11
the players?
players.
Yeah,
11 players.
Please count.
He's got to write it up. He's actually making.
I thought you had it. No. I thought you said I'm going to give you if you had it already.
Yeah, like in a couple minutes.
Yeah,
that was like you guys carry the conversation for the next 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm gonna work over here.
Oh boy, this is gonna be good then. Hey, did we talk about Sofa scores today? Ratings?
We did talk about Sofa scores.
Man, I missed. That's the best.
I gave Noah
part of the show.
I gave Noah Allen a ton of credit because I thought he played a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
Especially coming in as a substitute. And yeah, are you?
I haven't looked at it. So I'm gonna say, I'll take a guess. The worst was probably Toto because of his dumb decisions, and then best has to be Messi. Obviously, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to count it, but David Martinez was the lowest. Yeah. He played 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But then it was a two-way tie between Tomas Aviles, Toto, and Busquets, actually, who both
Oh.
had yellow cards. Gressel had a 6.7. Gomez had a 6.8. And then tops, obviously, Messi 9.1. Drake actually had an 8.2, and Suarez had an 8.1.
He actually played well, Drake. He made some nice saves. The first goal, I feel like he could have saved that. But besides
exactly what we said.
Yeah, but besides that, I thought he had a good game. He made some nice saves, good positioning. He tackled Noah Allen. You know.
Right.
That's pretty much exactly what we said. Go ahead, Jose. Bring us your lineup here for Wednesday.
Lineup brought to you by the Heron Heads. I'm going to have Robert Taylor left wing. I'm going to have Suarez and Messi up on top. I know, short week. You're going to Atlanta. It's turf. I'm going to be honest. They haven't played much soccer the last 3 weeks. So, yeah, go play, honestly.
But they're going to play so much in the next 3 weeks.
I hear you, but, like, it's just they're fresh and they're happy, and he's so upset that he didn't get the hat trick. This is my lineup, Julio. From there, I'm seeing at the midfield. I'm seeing Gressel, unfortunately. Sorry, folks. I do think Tata has tinkered enough, and he's going to put Brighton. We need him in there, and Redondo to boot at the right mid slot. From there, we're gonna have Alba, Christoph, Frey, and Cello. Close your ears, Chris. Christoph's coming in hot.
There's nothing. Christoph has never come in hot in his life. Kind of very, very cold and slow.
Yeah, there you
Oh
go.
boy,
Love it.
scary stuff.
I think maybe that's a good place to sort of wind down here. Now that we've fully previewed Atlanta, given our projected lineup according to Jose.
I've changed my mind. Tony has changed my mind. I did not know this. Did you know? Is this true, Tony? That's a good one. He hasn't started a single game on turf this season.
That's what I'm saying.
Speaking of Luis Suarez, by the way.
That's why I said Suarez. There's no way he's playing.
Okay.
No way.
You know what? Campana. We're not scoring any goals at the 9. This guy's gonna shake upon us to the top of the roof.
Last time Campana played in Atlanta was maybe the last time he scored a memorable goal. It was the one that he like flicked over his head and then slammed it.
Oh yeah.
And then we ended up losing 4-1.
I don't know what to tell you. Sucks to suck there. But yeah, that's whatever. We should still win. Ultimately, folks, we should still win.
We have a lot of depth. I think the defensive depth is very concerning given the events that transpired tonight. But at the end of the day, tonight was all about Messi. He came back, put his fingerprints, his toe prints all over this game. 2 goals, 1 assist. Suarez with the dagger at the end. Just so good. So good to be complete with Messi back now. Hopefully the injuries that happened tonight are not severe. None of them seemed too bad, but I'm no doctor.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the medical staff comes out with if they announce anything. Otherwise, we'll see what happens on Wednesday. And I don't believe we'll have a preview out because the next match is Wednesday, but we will be live post game after the match against Atlanta United. So be sure to tune back in. We'll break down all the action and provide any news updates that we come across between now and then. Also follow us on socials at the Heron Heads on X, Instagram, and TikTok. And thanks so much to everyone for hanging out with us. This is the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami, and we will catch you on Wednesday. So have a good night, guys.